Hi, hello, namaste. A very warm welcome to bio classes. We have started biotechnology principle and process, and already we have observed the major two principles briefly of biotechnology. What is that first principle? The first principle is genetic engineering, and the second principle is bioprocess engineering or chemical engineering. And for that genetic engineering, we observed one more term, that is rDNA technology, recombinant DNA technology. So that is almost same used as in case of how we can use the genetic engineering that word, that term. In the same way we are going to use this rDNA technology term also. So what actually that rDNA is? Recombinant DNA. That means in the DNA what combination of sequences of base pair is already present, that sequence we are going to change. That is change in the chemistry of DNA. We are going to change. How we can change? In two ways. One thing, we can cut and remove some base pairs from that DNA, or we can add some extra base pairs to that DNA. Cutting and joining. Cutting and joining. So by that process we can construct rDNA, and here usually rDNA constructed by taking one plasmid, in usual cases. And in the previous class we observed what actually that plasmid is. What actually that plasmid is? Yes, plasmid is circular, double-stranded, autonomously replicating DNA. Circular, double-stranded, autonomously replicating circular DNA. So that plasmid is. Usually we will observe the plasmid in case of the plant, in case of the bacteria. And those plasmids, we will take them and we will refer them as vector. For the plasmid we will refer them as vector. Why it is considered to be the vector, we will come to know later. Okay, that plasmid, that is one DNA, special DNA. We are going to cut the plasmid, we are going to make the creation of the gap, and into that gap we are adding our gene. That means what character we need in the organism, so that character representing gene we are going to insert to that plasmid. Now plasmid DNA plus our DNA both together forms rDNA. So such kind of artificial rDNAs we can create. Such kind of first artificial rDNA created by who? Who created that one? Two scientists, Stanley Cohen and Herbert Boyer. They created artificial DNA by using two bacteria. One is the Salmonella typhi, and okay, after preparation of rDNA they introduced this rDNA into the E. coli cell. So in the last case we observed that one. So that rDNA creation, it is the major part of genetic engineering. So we got rDNA, right? And one more thing, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವಿಷಯ. ಸೊ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವೊಲಟೈಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟನ್ನು ಕೇಳೋ ಟೈಮ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಅನ್ನಂಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟು. ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನೋಡಿದ್ದಾದಮೇಲೆ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಾರ್ದೇನೆ ನೀವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸನ್ನು ಹಾಗೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟು ಫಜಲಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್ಗೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಈ ಹೋಲ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನನ್ನು ನೀವು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳೋ ಟೈಮ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜನ್ನು ಪೆನ್ ಥರ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮಾರ್ಕರ್ ಥರ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ಸನ್ನು. ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಡೆಮೋನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಅದನ್ನು. ಬಟ್ ಅದೇ ಥರ ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟು DNA RNA ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಹೇಳೋ ಟೈಮ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟನ್ನು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಥರ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Of course, if I get the related images of that DNA or related the process means I can show you. But if no images means you need to imagine. ಆ ಥರ ಇಮೇಜಸ್ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಆ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸನ್ನು ಹೇಳೋ ಟೈಮ್ದಲ್ಲಿ. ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಮಿಡ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್. ಡಿಸೈರ್ DNA, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್. ಮಿಕ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್, ಕಟ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಜಾಯಿನಿಂಗ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಆ ರೀತಿ ನೀವು ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ವಾಲಟೈಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, yes. So let us continue the major portion of this chapter. So next let me consider tools of rDNA technology. What is the next one? Tools of rDNA technology or tools of genetic engineering. Both are same. So where is the major thing? And just we observed what actually the genetic engineering. For the genetic engineering we have to construct rDNA, we have to mix two different DNAs. So that is thing okay, but we can't see the DNA. First of all, we can't see the DNA and we don't know where to cut the DNA exactly. First of all, we are unable to watch the DNA, we are unable to see the DNA. Means how can we cut the DNA at particular place? How can you take out our suitable genes? So that is a bigger task. For that thing to happen, we are having some special materials, special tools. By using special tools, we can construct rDNA. What actually that rDNA is? Keep that thing in your mind. So here rDNA means we are taking one plasmid usually. That plasmid is cut. Where that plasmid is present? In case of bacteria, it is present in a bacteria. From the bacteria we are taking one plasmid. Why we have to take the plasmid? I will explain that concept in later. Why we have to take that plasmid only? So I will explain later. So we have to take the plasmid, we have to cut the plasmid, and we have to add our desired gene into that plasmid. Then it becomes rDNA. It becomes rDNA. And before that one, we discussed one concept. DNA, it must be linked with ORI. Our desired gene, what we need to introduce into one host cell, so that desired gene must be linked with ORI. Then only it will undergo replication inside the host cell, otherwise it will not replicate. That means we can't get our desire fulfilled. So because of that reason, that DNA, piece of the DNA or the gene, what we need to introduce into the host cell, it should be linked with ORI. But ORI is already present in the plasmid. Plasmid is having its own ORI. Hence we have to cut the plasmid and we have to join our desired gene. When the plasmid is going to replicate, at the same time our gene will also replicate. So that is the thing, right? Now we have to construct that rDNA. So for construction of the rDNA, what are the tools we required here? The first tool, that is restriction enzymes. The first tool, restriction enzyme. Second tool, DNA polymerase enzyme. Third tool, DNA ligase enzyme. Fourth tool, cloning vector. And the last tool, bioreactor. Yes, we are having 6 tools, major tools. Not only these 6 tools, apart from the 6 tools, again we are having so many tools, but these are major tools, major materials are required for construction of rDNA. So the first one, restriction enzyme. Second one, DNA polymerase enzyme. Third one, DNA ligase enzyme. And fourth one, cloning vector. And the next one is bioreactor. These are the major things, right? And here 3 enzymes we are observing here: restriction enzyme, polymerase enzyme, ligase enzyme. Already in a molecular base of inheritance chapter you observed these 2 enzymes, polymerase and ligase enzymes, already you have observed. And here one more special enzyme is there here, restriction enzyme. And next we are having a cloning vector and bioreactor. Okay. Now just I am giving one brief introduction. So let us consider bacterial cell, E. coli cell. Let us consider. So E. coli cell, it is having one plasmid, and now outside we are having one DNA. So one DNA is present. Let us consider our DNA or any organism DNA. In this DNA, one special gene is present, right? Any one gene, whatever the gene it might be. So we need to introduce this gene inside this bacteria. Why? This gene expressing one character, that means one product it is going to produce. That product we want to produce from this bacteria. Hence, we have to cut this gene and introduce into the bacteria. So this is the whole thing about the recombinant DNA technology. But first, what we need to do? We have to take out the plasmid. And a plasmid. That plasmid we will refer it as cloning vector. Why it is called as cloning vector means? Further I will explain that one. So here the plasmid is nothing but cloning vector, right? Now the cloning vector is cut. In the same way, here the DNA also cut to take the gene. So gene we are going to take. Here the DNA is cut and here this plasmid is cut. For cutting at a particular location, here plasmid also cut at particular location, there DNA also cut at particular location. Say for example, if I cut the DNA here means I cannot get the gene. If I cut the DNA here means I cannot get the gene. Or if I cut the gene at the center of the gene, I cannot get the full gene. Because of that reason, here the DNA should be cut at particular place. Here also DNA should be cut at particular place. For that reason, we are having this enzyme. Which enzyme? Restriction enzymes. And okay, after cutting, we need to join them. Plasmid joined with DNA, that means gene. To join, we are having one more enzyme, that is DNA ligase enzyme. Which enzyme? DNA ligase enzyme. And here still one more enzyme is remaining, DNA polymerase enzyme. So DNA polymerase enzyme, it is used in multiplication, the doubling of DNA. We will come to know. But already we have heard the function of this enzyme during a DNA replication. During a DNA replication, this enzyme helps in the formation of new DNA strands, and the same enzyme is used, right? DNA polymerase enzyme. And last, okay, of course, we introduce this rDNA. Now it is rDNA into the bacteria again. Now let me consider, this is rDNA now present in the bacteria. Now the bacteria should be multiplied. Now the number of bacteria should be increased. When the bacteria will divide, inside our rDNA also multiply, then we will get a more quantity of a gene product. But to grow these bacteria only, we are having some special chambers. Those chambers will refer them as bioreactor. Bioreactor means these are the huge tanks. Inside the tanks we are growing the selected host cells. So this is the host cell. And the sixth major one is host cell. Yes. So totally we are having 6 tools. 6 tools of what? rDNA technology or genetic engineering. 6 major tools. And out of 6 major tools, let me consider the first one. Restriction enzyme. Right? So restriction enzyme, it is okay. It is a type of nuclease enzyme. Restriction enzyme. What is the work of enzyme? Increasing the speed of reaction. Any reaction here. So here the reaction means DNA concerned reactions. Restriction enzyme, it is a special kind of nuclease enzyme. Which enzyme? Nuclease enzyme. Okay. Now, what is the work of protease enzyme? Protease enzyme. Protease enzyme helps in the breaking of protein molecules. What is the work of lipase enzyme? Lipase enzyme work is breaking of lipid molecules. What is the work of amylase enzyme? Breaking of carbohydrates. In the same way, the work of nuclease enzyme is breaking a nucleic acid. The work of nuclease enzyme is breaking of nucleic acid. What is the nucleic acid here? Nucleic acid is DNA. That nucleic acid is DNA. That means breaking of DNA, cutting off DNA strand. And in the nuclease enzyme, we are having that special category, restriction enzyme. Restriction enzyme is why this term arised. So here the thing, before going to that, let me consider same as usual E. coli cell. So what I am saying is restriction enzyme, it is one type of nuclease enzyme. Nuclease enzyme work is breaking off DNA, and this nuclease enzyme we have given this name. Why this name means, see, observe here, scientist in the year 1963, in the year 1963, scientists were studying the E. coli cell infection. Sorry, the infection for infection to the E. coli cell they were studying. So this is E. coli cell. E. coli cell, it was affected by one bacteriophage. What actually that bacteriophage is? Bacteriophage means it is a virus. Virus which is attacking to bacteria, we will call it as a bacteriophage. Already we know this one. So in Hershey and Chase experiment, we observed this one. We observed this kind of structure, Hershey and Chase experiment, right? So bacteriophage, it is a virus. This virus infecting to which cell? E. coli cell, right? This is E. coli cell. E. coli cell. But what they observed scientists, when the bacteriophage is attacking to the E. coli cell, E. coli, this bacteriophage will not survive inside the E. coli cell. ಬಂದಿರೋ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯೋಫೇಜು ಈ ಕೊಲೈ ಸೆಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸರ್ವೈವ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬದುಕೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Just like our immunity, just like our immune system, when pathogens will enter our body, our immune system will kill the pathogens. That means pathogens will not grow in our body usually. In the same way, bacteriophage did not grow inside the E. coli cell. Then scientists thought, they started thinking, what is the reason, because of presence of which molecules that a bacteriophage is not growing inside. Which molecule is responsible for restricting the growth of a bacteriophage? Restricting the growth of a bacteriophage. They started observing. So here, specially they observed two types of enzymes inside the E. coli cells. The first type of enzyme, it restricted the growth of bacteriophage. Andre growth anna stop madito anta. It restricted the growth of bacteriophage, that first type of enzyme. So that enzyme, it worked on by addition of methyl group to the DNA. See here, what I am saying is, when one cell is entering inside other cell, this cell will stop the growth of another cell inside. How means, actually if the bacteriophage is entering inside the E. coli cell means total bacteriophage will not enter. Bacteriophage DNA will enter inside, just genetic material. That DNA will not work inside this E. coli cell. Why? Because inside E. coli cell two types of enzymes are present. The one enzyme, it will restrict the growth of bacteriophage by the addition of methyl group to the DNA. Whose DNA? Bacteriophage DNA. Because of that reason, bacteriophage DNA will not work. If the bacteriophage DNA will not work means bacteriophage will not grow inside the E. coli cell. That means its growth is restricted. So this is one type of enzyme. Why after adding methyl group the DNA will not work means, see here, in the DNA, if I consider any gene, imagine this is the gene. In the gene, we are having transcription unit, already we have studied that one. Gene, that means expressing gene, that is a transcription unit. It is having three portions actually. The promoter region, terminator region, in between structural gene, promoter, terminator, structural gene, all the together becomes transcription unit. That means that gene is transcriptionally active. So in the promoter region, DNA dependent RNA polymerase enzyme will attach. For the attachment of that enzyme, sigma factor is required. Which factor? Sigma factor. Already we have studied that one. So that sigma factor we will refer it as initiation factor. What we will call it as initiation factor. For attachment of that initiation factor, after attachment of sigma factor, then only the process is occurring. Then only the DNA is expressing. But when a methyl group is added, that methyl group, it will attach at a promoter region. Which group? Methyl group. After attachment of methyl group here, DNA dependent RNA polymerase enzyme, that enzyme will not attach here. Hence, that gene will not work. That means the DNA will not work. Hence, growth of this DNA or growth of this bacteriophage is restricted. So this is one type of enzyme they observed. Because of this enzyme, that bacteriophage will not grow, they observed. And one more special enzyme they observed. So that special enzyme, so the second enzyme, breaking or removal of nucleotides of DNA at particular place. So they observed second category, second type of enzyme in the same cell. So that enzyme also restricts the growth of bacteriophage, but its working nature is different. How? This enzyme used to break or removal of nucleotides, of DNA at a particular place. When the nucleotides are removed from the particular place, then DNA will not work. Whose DNA? Bacteriophage DNA, which has entered inside. When the DNA will not work, then automatically bacteriophage growth is restricted. This is special type of enzyme. What is its work? Its work is removal of nucleotides. Removal of nucleotides means breaking of DNA. Breaking of DNA at a particular place. So this is special category of enzymes. They referred it as restriction enzyme. Why the term use restriction? Why? Because it will restrict the growth of other DNAs inside this enzyme. Restriction enzyme. Restriction enzyme, it is one special type of nuclease enzyme. Nuclease means it is a class of enzyme. We are having classes of enzymes: ligases, lyases, transferases, oxidoreductases, nucleases. In the same way, hydrolases, some enzymes we are having. Enzymes category in the first you observed biomolecule chapter. Okay, right. So here that a nuclease, it is a special type of enzyme breaking the nucleic acid, particularly DNA. So here such kind of one enzyme is restriction enzyme. Now the question will be arised. Then what is the first restriction enzyme isolated? The first restriction enzyme isolated is HindII enzyme. The name of restriction enzyme is HindII. I will tell you what is the full form of HindII. I will tell you. So HindII is the first restriction enzyme, and its work is breaking the DNA at a particular place or removal of nucleotides at particular place. And this enzyme, what this enzyme its specialty is? First REN. It is the first REN. It is the first REN. RE means here restriction enzyme. And who observed this one? Who observed this enzyme first? This enzyme observed by Hamilton Smith. This enzyme first observed by Hamilton Smith in the year 1970. In which year? In 1970, Hamilton Smith, he observed the first restriction endonuclease enzyme, and name of that enzyme is HIND2, Roman letter 2. This is the name of the enzyme. And here, after 5 years, it is characterized. That means this enzyme characterization done after 5 years. That means it will take 5 years from 1972. 5 years means after 1975. That means first they observed the enzyme, but they didn't know where exactly it is going to cut the DNA, what is its speciality, what are the other things related to this enzyme. They didn't know. For that one, they studied for 5 years, next 5 years, and they observed that one. Who is that major scientist? Hamilton Smith. He observed the first restriction endonuclease enzyme. Right. And here, restriction enzymes. We are having 2 types here majorly. In the restriction enzymes, we are having 2 types. Which are those 2 types? The first one is restriction endonuclease. And the second type is restriction exonuclease. Yes, we are having 2 types of restriction enzymes. Restriction enzyme is restriction endonuclease, and another type is restriction exonuclease. Okay, let me tell you with example. Now this is the DNA, right? So this DNA is having many base pairs. That means nucleotides. Let us consider. After adding the enzyme, after adding the restriction endonuclease enzyme to this DNA, this enzyme is going to cut the DNA inside. This enzyme is going to cut the DNA inside at a particular place. Keep one thing in your mind. Restriction enzyme means always it will cut the DNA at a particular location. If so many base pairs are present, means first what actually this enzyme will do, it will attach to the DNA and it will inspect the total length of DNA. It will inspect the total length of DNA, where it will get the suitable sequence in the DNA, there only it is going to cut. Yes. Say for example, imagine this is the enzyme. This is the enzyme, and this enzyme is attaching to the DNA strand first. After attaching, it will read the sequence. Which sequence? DNA sequences. A, T, C, C, like that. It will read the sequence. Wherever it will get the suitable sequence, there it will attach and it will cut the DNA.
Enzymes called restriction enzymes, which recognize, bind to, and cut specific DNA sequences, are used to open up a plasmid in preparation for the insertion of a gene. Some restriction enzymes leave the DNA with uneven ends, also known as sticky ends.
And first it will inspect the total length of DNA. Inspecting the total length of DNA, then only it is going to cut. That means at particular location it is cut, it is going to cut, or it is going to remove the nucleotides. Such kind of enzymes we will refer them as restriction endonuclease enzymes. And restriction endonuclease enzymes, we are going to abbreviate this one by the letters REN, restriction endonuclease enzyme. So for example, that enzyme, it may cut the DNA here, or it may cut the DNA here. That means in between it is going to remove the nucleotides. But if the enzyme is going to remove the nucleotides at the ends, if the enzyme is going to remove the nucleotides at the ends, ಈ ಹೊರಗಿನ ಸೈಡ್ ಇಂತ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ತೆಗಿತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. Say for example, if this is the DNA strand, means the last nucleotides are removed, the last nucleotides are removed, then that work is done by this enzyme, restriction exonuclease. Exo, this is endo, this is endonuclease and this is exonuclease. But in rDNA construction we are using restriction endonuclease enzyme particularly, and restriction endonuclease enzyme, it is type 2 restriction endonuclease enzymes we are using. That means again restriction endonuclease enzymes we are having three types: type 1, type 2, type 3. Type 1, it is going to cut only one strand of DNA. So for example, if the two strands of DNA present, means it is going to cut only one strand of DNA, not both the strands, but that is also cutting at particular place. Such kind of enzymes are type 1 restriction endonuclease enzymes. Suppose if the both the strands of the DNA cut and total pieces are separated, means that work is done by type 2 restriction endonuclease enzymes. In genetic engineering we are using type 2 restriction endonuclease enzyme. And one more is the type 3. So that type 3 restriction endonuclease enzymes are working between type 1 and type 2. But here majorly we are looking at type 2 restriction endonuclease enzymes. Okay, anyhow, this is the thing. And in that way, first thing, this enzyme is at most important. Now genetic engineering branch also too much improved, that total branch, and day by day many scientists are working on this, and they are isolating, they are inventing so many restriction endonuclease enzymes, new enzymes. So totally till now we have isolated 900 restriction endonuclease enzymes. How many enzymes? Majorly 900 restriction endonuclease enzymes we have isolated majorly from the bacteria, or even from other microorganisms also, but majorly bacteria. How many restriction endonuclease enzymes? 900 restriction endonuclease enzymes. And one enzyme is going to cut the DNA at one location, one particular location only. Say for example, if one enzyme is going to cut the DNA here, means another enzyme is going to cut the DNA here, another enzyme is going to cut the DNA here. That means all the 900 restriction endonuclease enzymes are specific, and here one enzyme is going to cut the DNA at a particular location, means that location sequence, it is recognized by that enzyme only, not by other enzymes. Say for example, it is just like a lock and key. ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಲಾಕ್, ಒಂದು ಕೀ ಇತ್ತು, ಒಂದು ಲಾಕ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕೀನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಲಾಕನ್ನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಲಾಕ್ನ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಎಂಜೈಮ್, which enzyme? Restriction endonuclease enzyme. Particular restriction endonuclease enzyme, it is going to find out the particular sequence on the DNA, then only it is going to cut, there only it is going to cut, but other enzymes cannot cut at the same place. So in that way we are having 9 different types of restriction endonuclease enzymes, and all of these 900 different types of restriction enzymes isolated from 230 strains of, more than 230 strains of bacteria. That means again we are having so many bacteria. From where we will get the restriction enzymes? We will get the restriction enzymes from bacteria. Just like from the bacteria we are going to get the enzymes. So 900 types of restriction endonuclease enzymes isolated from more than 203 strains of bacteria. that means breeds of bacteria. Strain means it is equivalent to breed. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ತಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ತಳಿಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ರೇನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. We have observed two strains, R strain and S strain in Griffith experiment, Streptococcus pneumonia. Like that, from 203 strains of bacteria, we have been isolated already 900 or more than 900 types of restriction endonuclease enzymes. But here, one major restriction endonuclease enzymes for our syllabus we are given with. So that enzyme is I'll write here EcoR1. This is the name of the restriction endonuclease enzyme mostly used, most studied, and this is the major enzyme used in construction of rDNA. Which enzyme? EcoR1. But what is the first isolated enzyme, first isolated restriction endonuclease enzyme? That is HindII. First isolated enzyme is HindII, but most studied enzyme is EcoR1, the famous restriction endonuclease enzyme. Now here the question will be arised, what actually that E, what is that CO, what is that R, what is that 1? So here, from where we are getting the enzymes? We are getting the enzymes from bacteria, right? Bacteria or animal or plant, whatever it is, we are giving some scientific names. That scientific name will be having two terms, genus name, species name. Genus name, species name. Here we are getting this enzyme from one bacteria. That bacteria is E. coli bacteria. Which bacteria? E. coli bacteria. Because of that reason, the starting letters we are using the bacteria name, the abbreviation of the bacteria name. So here E means Escherichia. E means Escherichia. So here Escherichia means it is genus name. It is a genus of bacteria, Escherichia. And CO, that means coli. CO means coli. So coli means it is species name. First letter indicates genus name, next two letters indicates a species name. In the scientific, while writing the scientific name of any organism, first we will write the genus name, next we will write the species name. Rules of binomial nomenclature already we have observed in first PU. Yes. So first genus name, E letter indicates genus, CO letters indicate species name. So Escherichia coli, this is the total name of bacteria. From that bacteria we have got this enzyme. And next letter R. R means this is strain. R means this is strain. R strain, S strain. How we observed in Streptococcus pneumonia, in the same way in E. coli also we are having a strain. And the E. coli ದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ತಳಿಗಳಿದಾವೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ತಳಿಯ ಹೆಸರು R ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ letter. That letter indicates it is one particular strain, R strain. From the E. coli, in the E. coli so many strains are present. Among so many strains we will get the R strain. From the R strain they isolated first enzyme. That letter, Roman letter 1 indicates, that Roman number 1 indicates order of isolation. So order of isolation. One example. Let us consider E. coli. The same E. coli, right? This E. coli, it belongs to R strain. Now in this E. coli, so many enzymes are present, and out of so many enzymes, some enzymes are restriction endonuclease enzymes. Now scientist will take one enzyme outside, and to this isolated first enzyme they gave the name EcoR1. E stands for Escherichia, CO means coli, Escherichia coli. This is the full name of bacteria. R means this is the strain of the bacteria. and first letter indicates order of isolation. From the same bacteria, if they isolated second enzyme means they will give the name ECO R2. For third enzyme, ECO R3. So this is the nomenclature of restriction endonuclease enzymes. How we are giving the name. Now coming to this one. This is the first isolated enzyme, HIND2, right? So here H means Haemophilus. H means Haemophilus. This is the species name, genus name. And ion, H ion. Ion means influenzae. Haemophilus influenzae. Haemophilus influenzae, H ion. D means, next letter D indicates strain, and 2 means order of isolation. So this is the first restriction endonuclease enzymes isolated. But the famous one here what we are using, ECO R1 enzyme. And one more thing I told you, whatever the enzyme it will be, it will cut the DNA at particular place. Why particular place means, in that particular place some sequences are present. Those sequences are recognized by these enzymes, and those sequences we will refer them as a recognition site on the DNA. What will refer it as? Recognition site on the DNA. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಂಜೈಮು DNA ನ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಸೈಟ್ಸ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, DNA dependent RNA polymerase enzyme will attach at the promoter of this gene, promoter region of this gene. That means promoter sequence is recognition sites for that enzyme. In the same way, for restriction endonuclease enzyme to cut the DNA, some special sequences are present. We will refer them as a recognition site or restriction site or restriction site. So another term we will use, restriction site, or we will majorly call it as palindromic sequence. So what we will refer it as, palindromic sequence. So all the three names are same, recognition site or restriction site or palindromic site. So this is the important term here, palindromic sequence. So what actually that palindromic sequence is? Yes. So what actually this palindromic sequence is? What is its importance? This sequence का importance ಏನು? ನಾನೇನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, the palindromic sequence are the special sequence on the DNA to be cut by these restriction enzymes. That means that particular place. Why we are using this term for that sequence? What actually these palindromic sequences are? How those sequences will be? How those sequences are special? And how the DNAs are going to, how these enzymes are going to cut that restriction and palindromic sequences. So we can observe the next portion in our next video class. And one more thing, just we are in the first tool, that is restriction enzymes. So this is all about the restriction enzyme, and restriction enzymes are going to cut the DNA on these sequences, palindromic sequences. How those palindromic sequences will be there and what is their speciality, we can observe in the next class. And also we have to observe remaining tools also, DNA polymerase, DNA ligase, cloning vector, bioreactor and host cells. We can observe in our later classes. Yes, thank you.